A very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and Yusuf Senyomo is on sign language. Let's have a look at the headlines and then get straight into the bulletin. Minister for Trade Sanjay Tana warns that Uganda could run short of electricity due to the rate of industrialization. Cabinet recommends the provision of facilitation for medical interns. And then Ministry of Works and Traffic Police Operation Salama Barabara nets errant drivers. And in sports, FUFA hands over FUFA Stadium Kadiba to National Council of Sports for redevelopment. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. We now give you the news in detail. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has bid farewell to the outgoing Sudanese ambassador to Uganda, Ahmed Ibrahim, following the completion of his 4-year tour of duty. During a meeting at State House in Entebbe, Ambassador Ibrahim thanked President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the government, and people of Uganda for the support extended to him and the Sudanese community. He also praised Uganda for receiving Sudanese nationals who sought refuge in the country following the outbreak of the conflict in Sudan in April 2023. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni also thanked Ambassador Ibrahim for his contribution to the Uganda-Sudan relations and wished him success in his future assignments. The two reaffirmed the long-standing relations between Uganda and Sudan. In more news, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Sanjay Tana, has warned that Uganda could run short of electricity in the near future based on the rate at which the country is rapidly industrializing. Sanjay Tana made the remarks today as the Presidential CEO Forum was meeting the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robina Nabbanja, at her office in Kampala.
The Presidential CEO Forum was established by the President to create linkage between the private sector leadership, CEOs from corporate institutions and government executives with the aim of contributing to the national development agenda. The forum, led by its Managing Director, Dan Kayemba, today held an engagement with the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabbanja.
We have engaged with more than 10,000 CEOs, big and small. We have talked to business leaders. We have held over 50 engagements across the country. And we have filtered out 229 private sector resolutions that we request government to look at critically.
This is an important occasion because for the 5th time, we are coming together to validate what government has committed to do in response to the concerns, recommendations, and the priorities raised by our private sector. It is about making commitments, tracking those commitments, measuring their progress.
The Premier commended the forum for the constructive engagements they have had so far held with the government, which have resulted into the establishment of a number of industries in the country.
Over the past 5 years, the Presidential CEOs Forum has grown into a trusted platform. I repeat, this has grown into a trusted platform, bringing together business leaders, government institutions, development partners, academia, and other stakeholders to identify the opportunities and the constraints affecting Uganda's investment and business environment.
During the meeting, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Sanjay Tana, warned that Uganda could run short of electricity in the near future based on the rate at which the country is rapidly industrializing.
Within the next few months, in my own opinion, maybe 1 year maximum, we have a fear of going into load shedding. An immediate solution was that these rich people under the Presidential CEO Forum need to be encouraged to invest in solar on top of their roofs so that they become sustainable and release energy for new developments. And I think we have about 3 or 4 examples that are successful in the net metering. One of them is NEC at the Independence Grounds.
Prime Minister Robin Anabanja said the government is fully aware of this need and one of the priorities of government.
Our focus now, using the oil money, is to make sure that the standard gauge railway is up and running. Standard gauge railway. We are also rehabilitating the meter gauge railway. And then electricity. We need to invest heavily so that we have enough electricity for the industries you are putting up.
The Executive Director of the National Planning Authority, Dr. Joseph Muvawara, thanked the government for the investment put in the Export Guarantee Funds.
And the Honourable Prime Minister, most importantly, is to thank government for the establishment and immediate of the Export Credit Guarantee Fund. This is a game changer issue. And
now you tell them the amount of money they are in, because here I can see 820 billion.
Yes.
The meeting was also attended by the 3rd Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Nakadama, Minister for General Duties in the Office of the Prime Minister Hira Ronek, the Minister for Karamoja Affairs John Bapsiroki, and the CEO Presidential CEO Forum Irene Mugisha Birungi.
The Deputy Chief of Defence Forces, also Inspector General of Uganda People's Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Sam Okiding, has urged military officers to mentor potential successors to ensure continuity, professionalism and institutional growth. General Okiding made these remarks at Postel building in Kampala during where he was speaking at the handover ceremony for Lieutenant General Charles Otema Awanyi, who is due to retire on Thursday, August 20th, this week.
General Charles Otema Awanyi. I joined the army way back during the Liberation War in 1979.
The outgoing Commander Land Forces, Lieutenant General Charles Otema Awanyi, has handed over office to Major General Joseph Semwanga, the new Commander, Reserve Forces. The ceremony was presided over by the Deputy Chief of Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Sam Okiding.
That retirement is a legal requirement. I think they copied and pasted from the Bible. You know, the Bible says everything which happens in this world happens at the time God chooses. Keywords, everything. Another one, God, then the choice. You can see. God chose us to join the army at different stages. God has chosen General Tema to retire today.
The handover symbolizes the military tradition of continuity, where responsibility is passed from one commander to the other. Lieutenant General Okiding said Otema has contributed to the pacification of northern Uganda during Operation Iron Fist and Operation Lightning Thunder.
Who is handing over? He has played his part. He is retiring. He's going to enjoy his sweat. He's retiring with a very smiling amount of money. And it is our wish, all of us, that God gives us life. For those who are not yet generals, your discipline is on the screen.
General Otema's service reflects commitment to discipline, operational readiness, and national security.
Under the command of our President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has no boundary. I enjoyed working in the army, in NRA, UPDF, no tribalism, care about how much what one can do.
First of all, I want to thank the outgoing General Wanyotema for the very, very good work he has done for this service. He has done a lot of work to make sure that this service moves from one level to the other. And what he has done includes, but not limited to, training.
Lieutenant General Charles Otema Awany began military service in 1979 with the Ugandan National Liberation Army during the war to overthrow the government of Idi Amin Dada. General Otema later joined the NRA in 1985 and has served for 47 years.
And rose over the ranks, which has not been the history of this country. What we used to know when you join the army, your end result, either you die or you go to exile. That thing did not happen in this regime under the leadership of President Museveni. And when I go today, peacefully, and even not only that, allowing me to join, when I served in the previous army, joined another army which have been fighting with, serving very happily. It is something which I appeal to fellow Ugandans, that our president is a God-given for this country.
During his career, he commanded the UPDF Force Division in Gulu and played a major role in operations against the Lord's Resistance Army, including Operation Iron Fist and Operation Lightning Thunder. At retirement, he was commanding the UPDF Reserve Forces. Lieutenant General Charles Otema Awany will officially retire from active service on 20th August 2026. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
And now moving into matters health. Cabinet has recommended the provision for facilitation of medical interns as stated in the National Education and Training for Health Policy 2025 be suspended for 6 months. Giving an update on medical interns facilitation, the Minister for Health, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, says that government has been paying interns and those privately sponsored. However, the provision scraps facilitation for the interns who are privately sponsored and leaves it to their guardians. UBC has more details.
Education and Training for Health Policy, which was passed by Cabinet on the 6th of October 2025.
The Minister for Health, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, has tabled on floor of Parliament the National Education and Training for Health Policy that was passed in 2025 to create a regulatory framework to streamline training of medical professionals. The policy sets standards to build competencies in the medical field. After the policy had been passed, Ministry of Health was directed to deploy all medical interns, hence expanded internship centers to 77 with 2,490 interns deployed. However, the medical interns contested the provision of facilitation in the policy. Now, Cabinet has recommended that the current cohort be facilitated with 1 million shillings allowances to help in their accommodation and feeding.
President, I have also consulted the Cabinet which sat yesterday. We did agree and the Cabinet recommended that we suspend that provision of facilitation for medical interns, meaning that we pay them as it has been. So going forward, the current cohort of interns will be paid the same amount. That is 1,268,929, and is subject to tax, and then the net pay will be 1 million. So that
the leader of opposition, Joe Senyonyi, appreciates government, however seeks for a permanent solution since the cabinet recommendation is for the current cohort. He also advocates for an increase of the medical interns allowance from 1 million shillings.
Now, in your engagements with government, now that you're preparing a report, that you get to say, no, we need to, going forward, continue to facilitate these people so that it doesn't apply only to this cohort. So I hope it's not just for this cohort, and then going forward you say, no, we will not facilitate them going forward. The terrain is different. Many of them are in far to rich places. And so 1 million shillings or that kind of thing many years ago cannot be the same today. So please keep engaging them and let the conversation be, how do we facilitate them better? You have started now by acknowledging, yes, they need to be facilitated, but that needs to be improved. They're saying the work they do, things are expensive, the places they've got to go and rent are.
One legislator wanted to know the fate of medical interns who were arrested during a demonstration.
The detailed statement. May we know the fate, or whether there is something that has been decided by the government regarding those who have been arrested in doing what they are supposed to do under the Constitution.
I was briefing Parliament that day. I didn't know they were demonstrating coming to Parliament. And I think up to 8 of them were arrested, produced in court, charged, and remanded. As the Minister of Health, I will engage the judicial officers together with Attorney General to see how the issue can be amicably resolved. So those young people should be released so that they can go and start their internship.
The chairperson of the Committee on Health, Dr. Julius Mande, was concerned about the safety of medical interns.
It was reported last time, I think a year or ago, where some intern lost lives. And this was on account of choosing accommodation in insecure areas of stay. So I think the allowance that we give really needs to be stepped up such that these interns are able to choose accommodation in safer areas.
Going to work with the directors of the various hospitals where these interns are deployed, so that we help with the management of the hospitals to get accommodation which is near enough and safe enough.
I'm Nafka Farida in Kampala.
The Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has joined African heads of state in Gabon's capital to mark the country's 66th independence anniversary celebrations. General Kainerugaba attended the celebrations at the invitation of the Gabonese President Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema. The Uganda's delegation included State Minister for Agriculture Desire Muhooza, Major General Henry Masiko, and Brigadier General Wycliffe Keita. Following the conclusion of the independence celebrations parade and rituals, General Kainerugaba held private talks with the Gabonese president. General Kainerugaba's visit comes amid strengthening diplomatic relations between Uganda and Gabon. President Nguema visited Uganda in August 2024 and later in May 2026 for President Museveni's inauguration. The celebrations mark Gabon's independence from the French colonial rule achieved on August 17, 1960. A highlight of the celebration was the inauguration of a monument dedicated to Georges Aleka Damas, who wrote both the lyrics and music for Gabon's national anthem, La Concorde. The anthem's verses have been engraved on the pillars of the newly inaugurated esplanade. And in more news, government plans to have the whole country to access electricity connection by 2030 by either grid or off-grid. The Minister of State for Energy, Okasayo Polot, has informed Parliament that the initiative is currently implemented in a phased manner, starting with the district headquarters, cities, sub-counties to parishes. Okasai, however, says that the priority will be placed on how electricity is used for productive purposes. Let's have a look.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development inherited Government of Uganda obligations of Uganda shillings 570 billion relating to completing contracts for the ongoing works on rural electrification projects. However, in the last 4 years, since the mainstreaming of Rural Electrification Agency, the ministry has since received only 220 billion shillings to this effect. This has resulted in the delay to pay contractors and the project-affected persons.
Development is running very fast in this country. We may have taken a line aiming to take to a sub-county, but as we took electricity to the sub-county, there are certain centers which have developed and they require electrification now. This project is meant to provide
transformers such that those areas get electrified.
The members of parliament have been convinced to allow the government secure loan to clear the counterpart financing for compensation and support the project implementation units. Government says the cost of extending medium voltage per kilometer is at 100 million shillings.
The biggest percentage of the parishes, they don't have power since 1997, the time we got the district as Vijiri. And even those small parts that have wires and the transformer and the poles, let another speaker, power is not consistent.
The surveys that we continue carrying out are actually surveys to enable us plan better. Surveys are also done to enable us capture the schools, the health centers, which are our priority.
Government is considering a change in plan to ensure that the whole country is connected with electricity by 2030. The Minister of State for Energy, Okasai Sidrona Sopolot, told Parliament that priority has been placed on areas using electricity for production.
Two approaches. One, we are going to look at where is agriculture, which is going to cause growth in the communities. And then the second one, tourist sites. We are going to focus on delivering electricity to those sub-counties and districts where there is tourism.
Despite Minister Okasai updating the House on the various running projects to enable the expansion of grid and off-grid power connections, the MPs think that much is needed.
However, I requested for two things. One, for a technical team from the ministry to come and do the resurvey, because those electricity standing poles have been there for a long time. Some have been vandalized and some are damaged, so we are missing so many. And also, when the Rural Electrification Agency was installing these electric poles, in some villages they left out some homesteads and households, and even government institutions. So you can see there are gaps which need to be rectified.
We have talked, but they are loans. Even we are now talking about secondary problems, but they are primary problems. These meter boxes, they are cheating us from there, and we are demanding for National Bureau of Standards. Two, we look for that, for the service fee. The more money you load on, now the more you're supposed to pay much.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima gukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda. La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
In Uganda, mornings don't begin with sunrise. They begin with courage. One man, one factory that has refused to stay silent. With one spark of courage, a chain of prosperity begins.
We are together. We rise together.
When one Ugandan stands up, the nation moves. Pearl Bank. Grow. Prosper.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We take you into more news stories. The Minister for Local Government, Balaam Barugahara, has called for stronger accountability in the management of conditional grants. He was opening the financial year 2027-28 program conditional grants negotiations in Kampala, where he warned that corruption and misuse of public funds undermines service delivery at the local government level.
FDI policy threshold.
A stronger link between government financing and service delivery at the local government level will ensure public resources achieve desired results. Minister for Local Government, Balaam Barugahara, has told a conditional grants negotiations meeting in Kampala that there is a need to prioritize fewer, clear and measurable undertakings.
Financing gaps, let us try to make policy and implementation bottleneck resolved. Let us also resources become more predictable and equitable. Accountability weaknesses in the local government should be addressed. Programming implementation should improve, and most importantly, let the citizen receive better service delivery. So we have villages where we call home, and those villages rest in local government. Even the president comes from Ntungamo, so he wants to see his village in Ntungamo happier. So let us make our villages happy. Let's ensure that every resource entrusted to government works for the citizen. Let us ensure corruption does not defeat the purpose of government financing. And let us ensure that resources negotiated here ultimately translate into better and more equitable and more accountable services and improved service delivery.
Discussions under the private sector development program focused on reviewing how government initiatives are supporting women and youth participation in the economy.
Negotiations of 2027-28 present an opportunity to consolidate, learn what has worked, confront what has not worked, and establish a stronger culture of implementation and accountability.
Again, this is being done in the framework of the 10-fold growth strategy agenda of the country. So how does the private sector, how does the individual programs of bringing the youth on board, the women, the myoga and so on, how are they helping us to address our agenda for the 10-fold growth program or strategy to drive the country to produce wealth worth $500 billion per year by 2040.
The negotiations will inform the financing guidelines for the financial year 2027
2028 conditional grants and address key implementation challenges affecting service delivery. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
The Ministry of Works and Transport and Traffic Police have intensified operations targeting errant motorists and the enforcement of new traffic regulations. The team led by the Commissioner for Transport at the Ministry of Works and Transport, Winston Katushabe, and the Deputy Director of Traffic Police, Norman Musinga, have apprehended several motorists where in an operation it is dubbed Salama Barabara.
Enforcement officers in a traffic operation along the Kampala-Gulu highway at the Matuga checkpoint targeted errant motorists where several drivers had violated traffic regulations.
A driver must have a driving license. This driving license should be within the class of the bus. That's number one. Number two, even if you have the right driving license, you must be accredited by Ministry of Works and Transport. In this case, you require a badge.
The operation targeted heavy commercial vehicles and public service vehicles.
So much as we are targeting the buses here and the drivers and the mechanical condition of these buses, we are equally targeting other motorists. Because in the process of carrying out this operation, we have actually found out that even in people with smaller cars, 14-seater, heavy goods vehicles, they are also traffic offenders.
During the operation, several motorists were arrested for various traffic offences.
We have also seen commuter taxis carrying more than the required or the authorized numbers in their vehicles. And most of them, surprisingly, you notice on their vehicles, there is a word license to carry 14 passengers, but inside they have 17, they have 16, they have 18. All this is breach of the operator's license. So we have arrested some people on some of these violations, where some will face court and some have been issued tickets.
If you see the bus has no seat belt, get out. Get out of the bus. You have a right. There are several buses that are providing safety for their own passengers. They are there. Am I right?
The Ministry of Works and Transport Directive requires all vehicles to undergo mandatory inspection at gazetted inspection centres.
For commercial vehicles, it is mandatory now. We are not going to give them space. You only book. For private, we are saying book at your own time, because we want to face it. We don't want to create congestion at these centres. But should we find that actually your vehicle is wanting on the road, whether it is private or public, we shall force it to the inspection centre.
The enforcement team noted the need for continued public sensitization on traffic regulations regarding the different categories of driving licenses and their requirements. The Ministry of Works and Transport has pledged to sustain similar operations on major highways across the country as part of efforts to reduce road crashes through strict enforcement of existing traffic laws. Kumagum Rogers and Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC.
That is Operation Salama Barabara for you. Ministry of Local Government has acknowledged persistent systemic challenges within district local governments that undermine effective service delivery. Minister for Local Government Balam Barugahara says that some of the challenges include neglect of duty by technical officers, misuse of government funds, ghost workers, and irregularities in the implementation of government education programs such as the Universal Primary Education and the Universal Secondary Education, as well as health centers. UBC has more details.
And above, possibly.
Minister for Ministry of Local Government, Bambal Gahara, Minister of State Justin Namere, and Permanent Secretary Benjamin Kumumanya and ministry officials have appeared before the Public Accounts Committee Local Government to respond to issues concerning the ministry's mandate and accountability.
Minister is saying, I'm waking up, sleep, people, rotten system, and it's true. Every one of us here agrees that that is what is happening, and you are our technical arm.
In the committee, Minister Bargahara highlighted challenges affecting district local governments across the country.
Government every day sends money not only to Masindi district where I hail from, but to Katakwi, to Kamuli, to Iganga, to all districts equally. In instances like road fund, it sent all these places. We have auditors in place, we have engineers in place, but what are they doing?
He raised concern over the influence wielded by technical officers in local governments, whereas some area members of parliament are reluctant to challenge them, creating room for abuse and corruption.
The system in the local government has been sleeping. That's the right word I can say. We have a complete system. It's broken down. Now to work that system, we need to check them. If we don't check them and they remain on the floor of parliament to make better presentations to you members of parliament, I will be wasting time. Every year I will come and lay what they have told me in the district, but they are not telling you the truth. I must, with your support each one of you in your different constituencies to make sure things work out.
Committee members questioned the permanent secretary why officials implicated in wrongdoing are not held accountable.
You seem to be targeting small fish. You really acknowledge as government now that there is corruption in the system. Why don't you set up an inquiry, a commission of inquiry into the ministry? Let's begin with the Minister of Local Government.
The arrogance of our civil service, the rot we have, by the way, in this country. People doing things with impunity. They don't care.
So these are your best. You are saying there is a health center here which was the best. Mine was rated the best without a toilet.
Time for reform is now, because I mean you would wait for Auditor General's report to come. It comes every year. You would wait, but also most importantly, the minister has helped to break the odds and said there is no need to wait for anybody. For me, let me move. But I want to report this committee that restructuring is a solution, because all those institutions that were put in place by law have failed the system more than the ministry.
The committee also called for improved staffing levels at local government service centers.
Place. Are we going to wait for things to happen and then the minister and his team go all over the country running around to treat the disease? How about we do it before it ends, before it even begins?
I'm so surprised and I feel so sad when I have very competent people, I presume, like you, to help our people account for the monies that we have there. Did we just know today that there are schools which are government PTA schools and people were paying money?
Why can't we have the heads of department, since we pay them now, they divide their payments. Since we have them well paid, why can't we have them transferable so that we break this chain?
Rebecca Nantongo, Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
And in more news, police have issued advisory to parents, guardians and communities to keep children safe during the second-term holiday. Police say that although the holiday gives children an opportunity to rest and reconnect with their families, it also exposes them to risks and other forms of violence.
The Uganda Police Force calls upon parents, guardians and community leaders to prioritize the safety of children throughout the holiday period.
Usually register violations of children's rights, sexual violence, neglect, harmful child labor, accidents and offenses committed against or amongst children.
Police are particularly concerned about sexual abuse of children, warning that perpetrators are people known and trusted by unsuspecting child or family.
Parents and guardians are urged to know where their children are, whom they associate with, and to take seriously any change in behavior, fear, unexplained injuries, withdrawal, or disclosure by the child.
Parents are cautioned against leaving children unattended to.
Especially the girl child. As police, we usually register several cases of sexual abuses. You find parents releasing children to trading centers to go and buy home items at awkward hours.
The force warns against child labor and hazardous employment. Parents and guardians are warned against resolving cases of child abuse through private compensation.
And this is common in cases of defilement and grievous harm. A child has been defiled, then the parent comes and negotiates with either the family of the defiler or the suspect himself.
Bar owners and entertainment venues urged to enhance vigilance against exploiting children.
Deployed to serve alcohol, there are extreme situations where children go for a bimansulo, but those ones we shall be very, very strict. You find the children going for stripping and naked exposure, being used as sexual symbols.
Meanwhile, police have issued a cyber fraud alert and warned the public on the online investment platform operating in Uganda under the name Heart8 Investment, with members of the public reportedly facing difficulties accessing their accounts and withdrawing funds.
We wish to clarify that the legitimate Heart8 corporation went on its X handle and disassociated with alleged solicitations in Uganda. It is stated that it has no authorized representatives in Uganda. So whoever you may be dealing with in Uganda out there, you are dealing with him at your own risk.
Preliminary information indicates that some individuals were lured through social media to deposit money on the promise of receiving returns from the online investment platform. Abdunasele Lubwama for UBC.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Adonia Yebare, has tasked heads of diplomatic missions and honorary consuls to support Uganda's tenfold growth strategy of expanding gross domestic product from $50 billion to $500 billion by 2040. BBC has more details on this report.
The newly sworn-in Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Adonia Ayebare, has met heads of diplomatic missions and international organizations in Uganda, setting priorities as he starts his official duty. Top on the agenda was expanding the gross domestic product from $50 billion to $500 billion by 2040.
Our priorities are, of course, economic transformation through commercial diplomacy, energy, climate change, peace and security, and also one of my priorities is to lift travel advisories. As you know, some countries have put travel advisories on Uganda that is affecting the economy, but we're having a good discussion with those countries to reopen business.
The State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Haruna Kasolo, tasked the diplomatic missions on engaging more investors.
We have talked about promoting economic diplomacy. It is very, very important because these are the partners that we go to and they go back to their countries and they encourage investors to come to Uganda. So they needed to understand where our priorities are, but also the incentives that we all extend to the investors.
The diplomats have welcomed the priorities and pledged to work towards the tenfold growth strategy.
This was a very good briefing, especially after a few days that the new minister was sworn in, to have us and brief us about Uganda's diplomacy.
And we know him as an
incredibly experienced and highly efficient operator, and therefore we are all so much looking forward to working with him here in Kampala. He brings such an enormous experience and professionalism from especially multilateral diplomacy, which I think will be very useful for him in his new role. And it also, I think, will strengthen clearly the Ugandan voice globally.
Philippa Guta for UBC News in Kampala.
Uganda's arts and performance space has paid a special tribute to Uganda's performing arts icon, the late Alex Mukulu. They spoke about the late as someone who used the stage to speak about Uganda, its people, its politics, its culture, its struggles and hopes. Meanwhile, performing artists demand government to institute a hall of fame to honor the late Alex Mukulu.
An icon, Alex Mukulu was born in 1954 at Misebe village, present-day single county in Buganda, to the late Paulo Kaizi Lugaizi and Victoria Ndagire, who was the daughter of Prince Yokana Chimbugwe of Lunguja. His early education started at Misebe, joined the Colonial Secondary School and later studied film and drama at Makerere University in Kampala. His interest in the arts developed early, that he began producing plays in the 1970s. The creative industry and the artists have gathered at National Theatre to pay tribute to once a playwright, actor, director, musician, choreographer, and one of the most influential figures in Uganda's theatre.
Omuzira wa Uganda alina kubeera ani? Nti Alex Mukulu bw'abeera nga si muzira wa Uganda, kati ffe tutwalira ki? Because tewali mu Uganda artist ali accomplished nga omusajja agalamidde wano.
They said, we remember his talent, his contribution and the mark he leaves on Uganda's creative industry.
Bwenazanya wano gwa Alex yagusigalamu yekka akuba engalo ng'abantu badduseemu bagenze bakaaba. Omwami yafudde, agenda kufa. Naguli gwali muzanyo nga mpatwandika omuzanyo gusinga ne kwogwo ogw'abambi. N'olwekyo Alex abadde mukwano gwange.
The other young man was talking about burying him in Kololo. Can we have a hall of fame where this would not be just pictures passing, but everything they did would be written down? Nowadays, we like there is digital technology.
The executive director of Uganda Communication Commission, Nyombi Tembo, said the late was a perfectionist in his creatives.
People love perfection. We miss perfection. We have had improvisation, it's good, but now we want Mukulu yabadde king wa perfection.
Government was represented by the State Minister for Gender and Cultural Affairs, Mary Kamuli Kutesa.
It is every man's individual to choose what they write in those pages. And we got today because this gallant soldier of the industry of art in Uganda wrote, accurately, professionally, diligently, and with all the spirit he had in him. We applaud him, we applaud him.
Mukulu devoted almost 5 decades to Uganda's performing arts and used the theatre to examine Uganda's political history, culture, social problems, and everyday life. Among his best-known works were Muzukulu wa Kabangala, Wounds of Africa, Peasant's Cry, 30 Years of Banana, Excuse Me Muzungu, Radio Mambo Bado, to mention but a few. His 1991 play 30 Years of Bananas was famous for examining Uganda's political, economic, and social journey since independence. One of his prominent national performances was Journey to Self-Realization at the opening ceremony of the 2007 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, Chogam in Kampala.
We are here to celebrate my father, and he lives. His legacy still lives.
Alex Mukulu died of liver complications on Saturday, 15th August, at the age of 72 at Shrudu Hospital. I'm Ivan Juko, reporting for UBC.
May the let soul rest in eternal peace. UBC shall now take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business.
The parent is Tuliahemwa Dixon. And the child is Ani Tuliahemwa Esther.
Kambera gwete kwa mchisha ngo ishe watu yayewa Esther wahangura school fees ngene na hateja shana amashemero kwagonka MTN momo eberewo mbeni nyegasta igana kaga ni 5 sta manana 0 hash kushashuro mwana school fees takoma nyo mchisheri zagwijo wanje ninga nchaka kubasa kuzo wawe mwebare munonga.
It starts here before she can read and spell her own name. Every empty room is a question. Not what will they know, but what will they be able to do? A curriculum is the answer. A skill at a time. The creative, the builder, the developer whose work crosses borders. A skill learned here should work anywhere in the world. Get the curriculum right and a whole nation rises.
My name is Bernadette Nambika-Ruhanga. I'm the director of the National Curriculum Development Center. I'm inviting you all to the second International Curriculum Conference that is due to take place on the 20th and 21st of August 2026 at Speak Resort Mnyonyo, where we are going to reimagine curriculum. And we shall be discussing matters related to a globalized future in as far as curriculum is concerned.
Every life begins in a moment like this. Certain, planned, full of promise. For us, it's a bold ambition to make lives better. Because somewhere, someone is stepping into a world of work for the first time with the confidence that their retirement is taken care of. We make dreams possible. From owning homes to scaling businesses. And when health takes an unexpected turn, help is there when it's needed most. And because legacies matter, what people build does not end with them. It's passed on. We value moments with go-getters, bold dreamers, and believers. Different paths, different rhythms, with one shared belief that financial freedom is within reach. For 40 years, we've made lives better and fueled Uganda's economy. Through careful investment, we have supported businesses, created jobs, and backed our nation. To us, it's more than saving. It's believing in effort, in patience, in possibility. It's making lives better. We believe in you, in us, and in Uganda.
NSSF, 40 years of making lives better.
Alo.
Ese mwami mukasa.
Mutyaneyo.
Yono broka.
Yenze broka wa mayumba.
Bangambye ne nyumba za mwenunjiko.
Kituufu. Oyagala bisenge bimeka?
Nga bisatu.
Ebbeeyi bagigambye?
Bangambye saa 5.
Nedda 7 zaali nyabuuko.
Lwaki?
Anti langi gye tusiigisa ya mulembe. Nti ne value y'ekitundu yalinnya.
Musiigisa ki?
Global Paints.
Mutya.
Ku ceiling tukozesa Global Mat. Ate munda ne tukozesa Global Silk Vinyl.
Singa kwetaga wabweru.
Wabweru tukozesa Global Weather Coat Emulsion.
Kusiiga gye musiiga. Ogwo omutindo okusasulira sente zonna.
Guli wumite.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Welcome back to still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now take you into the world of business. Uganda is seeking to turn its growing economic relationship with the United Arab Emirates into increased trade, investment and business opportunities. The 5th Uganda-UAE Business and Investment Forum will bring together government officials, investors, financial institutions and private sector to expand access to the UAE and wider Gulf markets. Let's take a look.
UAE investment in Uganda has grown from about $300 million in 2018 to $3.5 billion in 2025, while more than 150,000 Ugandans are currently living and working in the UAE.
For the first time in the history of Uganda, it's the first time that our leading global trade partner is outside the region. Foreign direct investments from the UAE to Uganda have increased from $300 million in 2018 to $3.5 billion in 2025.
The 5th Uganda-UAE Business and Investment Forum will focus on agriculture and agro-processing, trade and exports, mining and minerals, tourism, infrastructure, energy, logistics, manufacturing, financial services and technology. Ambassador Chibedi says stakeholders' meeting will prepare for Uganda's participation in the forum.
The major objective of the forum is to promote Uganda as a competitive investment and business destination and to connect Ugandan products and exporters to highly dynamic UAE and wider Gulf markets.
The UAE became Uganda's leading global export destination in October 2025, making it one of the country's most important trade partners outside the East African region.
UAE has become an increasingly important partner for Uganda in trade, investment, tourism, infrastructure, logistics, agriculture, energy, and other sectors. You talk of any region, we can share with you the projects that are happening from the UAE.
While the UAE now is a key destination for Ugandan exports and a major source of investment, government hopes the 5th Uganda-UAE Business and Investment Forum, scheduled for October 26th to 29th, will translate the growing relationship into more business deals, jobs, and market opportunities for Ugandan enterprises.
And it's a great opportunity for our country, and it is in line with government policy and government position that by 2040 we should, as a country, attain the $500 billion GDP.
Charity Marion Imnat and Mike Bakablindi reporting for UBC News.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort. right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
The Uganda People's Defense Forces invites you to the second edition of the UPDF-CDF Inter-Forces Drill Competition. Join us on Tuesday, 25th August 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for an electrifying showcase of precision drill, synchronized formations, discipline, and military excellence. Under the theme Precision, Discipline and Cohesion, Pillars of National Resilience and Transformation. Witness UPDF formations battle for the coveted Inter-Forces Drill Championship. Who will take the crown? Will it be the Land Forces, Air Force, Special Forces Command, Field Artillery, Motorized Infantry, Marines Brigade, Directorate of Women Affairs, Military Police, or one of the 1st to 5th divisions? The event will be presided over by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. For more information, call 0392 947 455.
And now it's time for sports. The Federation of Uganda Football Association, FUFA, has handed over FUFA Stadium Kadiba to the National Council of Sports for redevelopment ahead of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Let's take a look.
The redevelopment works will be undertaken by the UPDF Engineers Brigade and could last 6 months.
However, we are planning to crash the program so that we do it in a shorter time to enable preparations for AFCON games start early. Some of the expectations of the works we are going to do include preparation of the ground for the pitch. We're going to remove all these soils you see here, which are not stable, stabilize the ground, bring in new soil, bring in new grass. We're going to work on the lighting system.
The project will involve demolishing the existing pitch and constructing a new natural grass playing surface. State Minister for Sports Peter Gwang says preparations of AFCON 2027 were on course.
I want to assure the people of Uganda that AFCON 2027 will take place in Uganda, United Republic of Tanzania, and Kenya come June next year. No wonder we are here to witness yet another opportunity of handing over a training facility. In all these works, I expect a contractor to work in line with the CAF standards.
FUFA President Moses Magogo called for an additional training pitch, preferably artificial, to reduce pressure on the new grass surface.
This pitch has produced very many talents of Uganda. So it is very, very historic of us that where talents have been developed, eventually it is becoming a home of football.
As National Council of Sports, our hands that implement the growth and development of sports majorly lean to the federations if it comes to the different sports disciplines that we're talking about. So when we talk about the game of football, FUFA that has been registered and recognized as the organization or the federation that's in charge of that sport is our hands as far as development of football is concerned in the country.
NCS National Council of Sports Secretary General Bernard Patrick Ogwell said funds for the project were available, including resources for maintenance and equipment.
That we have done everything possible with the FUFA to see that the legal requirement for facilitating the implementation of the project were all undertaken, including the relevant clearance from the government organs have all been undertaken. Honourable Minister, this project should have taken off last financial year, but there were delays that was beyond our control. But what I want to assure the gathering is that the funds that has been planned for the last financial year.
And in sports, Gators Swim Club have won their inaugural swim meet at Kampala Parent School in Naguru. The club also welcomed back Husna Kukundakwe, who won Uganda's first ever swimming medal in the Commonwealth Games history.
With 14 clubs taking part, Getas Swim Club won their inaugural meet with 4,624 points. They were followed by Dolphin Swim Club with 3,135 points and Aqua Aki in third place with 1,418 points. This meet featured middle distance events across all 4 strokes in the 50 meters, 100 meters and 200 meters categories.
It's a different format from some of the galas that we are used to. The distinction we've made is we first of all are focused on the age groups above 10 years and above, and also in the structure of the races we focus very much on the middle distances. But the focus is really to try and get our swimmers to focus on competing on those distances for those who are focused on those distances and to give them an opportunity to compete.
Clubs are the essential part of any development program, so I'm very happy that Uganda Aquatics is supporting this through President Moses, and we congratulate Getas, President Chairperson Mr. Nwagaba of the team, and we look forward to these young swimmers going on to compete in the nationals and maybe represent Uganda in our upcoming games. We have the Zone 5 games coming up in Nairobi. We have the Zone 3 here in Kampala in October. So it's very good that Getas is having this and other clubs. So we congratulate Getas and we look forward to coming back next year for this event.
The swimming fraternity in Uganda also welcomed back Husna Kukundakwe, who made history by winning Uganda's first ever aquatics medal at the Commonwealth Games. A silver in the women's SB8 100 meters breaststroke at Glasgow 2026.
My main event was the Commonwealth Games, and since then I haven't really been much in the water. I've been focusing on school. And to be here to support the beginning of Getas Swim Club events, this is the first invitation that Getas Swim Club is having. And I look forward to the many, many more to come with lots more unique events and maybe even more swimmers, a much bigger fan base. But yeah, for me this event was just a moment to have fun and be with my teammates and race to the best of my ability, of course.
With less than 2 months to go to the Zone 3 Championships set for Kampala in October, this swim meet served as a first step in preparations.
I think what I like about the Getas Gala is that there are less people, and when there are less people to compete with. We're not scared.
The Getas Gala is a very fun gala. It helps you show what you can do after the Hearts Gala. It helps you see if you've been improving in training and where you find yourself, and that's why I like it.
101. Mashamira Victor, UBC News.
And with that, we've come to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark. Yusuf Senyomo is on sign language from the team behind the scenes and administration. Allow us wish you a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids water park and our kids play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.